Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Yo. I tell you what, man, I want that to continue to play the intro all day. Jason's audio is a little...
We can hear you twice right now, sir.
Yes.
All right.
We're back.
There it goes.
We're back. Yeah,
there it
sorry.
goes. I could hear myself twice, and I was like,
Yeah,
something
that's
is
on me.
going... All right, guys, but welcome back into another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Obviously, you guys can see it's Matt, Shane, and Jason here with you guys tonight. Before we get into it, always, baby, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm still headbanging out to our intro song. I don't know why, but that song just got me going today. And, maybe it's the Chiefs are playing this week too. And, the NFL had a wacky week where all the favorites won. So shout out the public.
Yeah, we're vibing. Vegas isn't, but we are vibing. I think all of our teams won this week. We're doing well. Nobody cares about your Chiefs, Shane. So
They
it's
always,
okay.
he's just used to win.
They
He
didn't
always
lose. So, I mean, that's a
I guess that is a positive.
Exactly.
But no, man, thanks for tuning in to everybody who's watching live right now. We are recording live on the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. Go over there and give it a subscribe. Thumbs up, man. It's real easy. Just give it a little clickety clack. You know what I'm saying? Helps out the show, helps out the program, helps out Fantasy Six Packs. We do appreciate all y'all out there supporting, keeping our train wheels moving north. Okay, because that's what we're trying to do. If you guys want to check out any of our social medias, man, you can head over and check out at Matt_Parlay FF on the old X machine, at Parlay Shane, we had a brain fart. Your screen just screwed me up.
Yeah, the screen swap. I got you with it.
You did. At Shane Parlay FF on the old X machine and at Jason Parlay FF. Head on over there. Give us a follow, guys. We do try to put out as much as we possibly can, especially if lines are changing. This is the Parlay Fade episode for you guys tonight. It is the betting segment that we do each and every single week with NFL plays, locks, college plays, college locks. We'll get to that to just a minute, guys. Head over to fantasy6pack.net. Okay, become an all-access member today. Use promo code ParlayFF to get 15% off of your all-access membership, guys. Do it and do it soon, because with that membership, not only do you get our free bets that we give out right here, 3 apiece, but you will have access to all of our bets. And we are still rolling with bets. We are still rolling in the cash, okay? So head on over there, do that. It really does help not only us out, but it helps out Fantasy Six Pack. Lots of knowledge over there, and there's tons of sports. It's not just football. Tons of sports over there. Lots of information. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Okay, give the podcast a follow. It's Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. It does help us out. Get that subscribe button and that follow button, guys. Everything's improving, so we are super excited the way things are going. We can't be more thankful for Fantasy Six Pack for partnering with us.
Shout out Joe, who's in the chat
Yeah.
right now.
Joe is in the chat right now. Big dog on campus. But with that being said, y'all, let's get into some recap, Jason, for the Parlay Fade episode. What you got?
Yeah, so I'm going to recap real quick college before we go straight into the NFL. Matt, wasn't your best week, because I think this is probably the worst week you've had in college in quite some time now. I don't think I've seen it. You didn't do that bad, but going 6-8, I don't even think I've seen you below 500 ever. So
this is
it's only up from there. You are still sitting at 46-31 for your overall total. And let's hear your plays for this week.
Yeah, so last week, like Jason said, man, it wasn't my best week. A lot of the games and lines, like I was actually pretty in love with. But before I get into my picks, man, like it wasn't just me. There were so many analysts out there who were betting essentially the same stuff I was betting. and a lot of the games just did not hit. The teams we picked to win and cover, the teams won, but we fell short by the hook or 1 point. So it was kind of discouraging, but going 6-8, it's not the end of the world. We still got some good plays out there. We still won some money. So I'm totally Gucci with that. But as far as my plays this week, guys, I'm going to give you my 3. All right. The first one is Indiana -6.5 versus Nebraska. Indiana's coming off a bye week, man. We know how potent this offense is. Indiana's been rolling lately. And I called this play. I called it 2 weeks ago, and you guys knew as well, man. We know that Indiana's just been rolling on offense. It's been hard to stop. They face a Nebraska team here fresh off the bye week. Okay. We know that Nebraska has a very young team who is very talented, but in my opinion, it's hard to imagine that they're going to be able to stop this Hoosier offense. Nebraska has a really good offense, and as we all know, they've got one of the better players in the country in Dylan Raiola, but Nebraska's weak on defense. They have shown some weakness. They've shown some holes. I'm not saying that Indiana's a stellar D either, because we know that they're allowing a lot of points to be scored too. However, I think this potent Hoosier offense can do much more and much faster on Nebraska. So I'm taking the -6.5 here at home, fresh off a bye week. So give me Indiana -6.5. Next game, Arkansas +3 versus LSU. This is another team coming fresh off a bye week, and they are the Dogs at home. Now, we do know that LSU and Coach Kelly's biggest matchup and win last week came against Ole Miss, but if you break down the game, Ole Miss kind of gave that game away. Ole Miss should have won that game. Arkansas is a team that I think a lot of people were high on early season, but they've had some road bumps along the way so far, losing some pretty close matchups they probably shouldn't have lost. Listen, Arkansas could be a 6-0 team right now. They're a few plays away from being a 6-0 team. They are playing currently like a top 25 squad, and I think they may come into this game and shock the Tigers. Give me Arkansas +3 as home dogs and stay a team that is looking like a top 25 team. So I'm taking Arkansas +3. The next game. This one's going to shock y'all, and this is actually my lock. Give me Purdue +27.5 versus Oregon. This game right here looks like your stereotypical, tried and true situational spot for Purdue. It's 100% clear that Oregon just came off their biggest win of the season, beating Ohio State last week. Matter of fact, I think Oregon's probably still celebrating today, which in my mind is a huge advantage for a Purdue team that seems to be look like they're going to be overlooked. Okay. Not only that, but after this week, Oregon plays another top 25 team in Illinois. Again, another great situation for Purdue. I believe there are people floating around saying that the Boilermakers may be the Spoilermakers this week. Oregon has to travel across multiple time zones here this week. And fun fact, teams in this conference that have had to travel across multiple time zones are 3-10 against the spread. So, hey, let's just take a little ride here with Purdue. Don't hear what I'm not saying, guys. I think Oregon's going to win this game, but at +27.5, I want to roll the dice here. I know Purdue is not a good team, and I'm betting most turned the game off after halftime last week when they were losing by 3 touchdowns to Illinois. But in the second half, they scored 40 points to force overtime against this Illinois squad. They did ultimately lose, but I think that 40 points in the second half they will have some momentum carried into this week. I think they are being overlooked by Oregon because Oregon's got another tough matchup after they play Purdue this week. So I am ultimately going to take Purdue to cover at +27.5. I could look like a total fool here for doing it, but again, I'm going to roll the dice and hope that Purdue covers. So Purdue, let's ride.
All right, hold on. Let me just say, Spoilermakers, you went there, but you didn't say, let's get on the choo-choo train.
Oh, that would have been better.
I was waiting for it. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed at the dad joke the first time, but yeah, I was waiting for the choo choo chain reference, and I was here for it.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was actually off the top or if you saw that in one of the articles you read. I was like, damn, that wasn't bad, but I wish I wouldn't have laughed at it.
No, I did read that, because I did. There is a lot of people out there saying that Purdue could be the Spoilermakers this week, and I just think that spot is a great situational spot for Purdue. You know they're being overlooked by Oregon. 27.5 is a lot to cover. We know what kind of team Oregon is. Like, they are a very good team with not very many weaknesses, but this just looks like a good situational spot for Purdue. So I'm gonna roll the dice with this.
Yeah, I like the letdown game situation there after a big win last week.
Yeah.
You know how much we love those situations. But yeah, it's time. What everybody comes here for, since Matt didn't do so well last week, they're here for our NFL picks. So let me recap it real quick last week. So with the bets that we gave out for everybody, guys, we had a hell of a week. We went 7-2 overall for our free picks. So if you did tail on our free picks, you made some serious cash. I think it was the first time most of us actually picked favorites last week. And quick stat, road favorites went 8-0 last week. Vegas got their ass whooped. They really needed the Jets to win last night, and that didn't come through. They should have won, but the Jets jet. So to recap everything for all of our picks, last week your boy went 4-2, Matt went 2-2, and Shane went 5-3. Locks, me and Shane hit our locks. Matt did not. Matt and I are at 3-3 overall for the season on our locks, and Shane is leading in the clubhouse right now at 4-2 for his locks.
Got a boy, Shane.
Thank you.
Season totals, your boy's at 16-10. Matt is at 17-13-1, and Shane is at 19-15-1. Overall, last week, with all of our picks and the picks that we gave out online, 11-7. So the other bets, they did all right, but if you did tail and you did pay for the package, you made money last week, and that's all that matters. Over 500, and it was a great week, especially for favorites. But I don't think favorites are going to really come out this week. And Shane, with that being said, since you had the most wins, I will give you the floor.
Thank you. And it's back-to-back weeks that I get to lead the charge here, fellas. It feels nice to be in the driver's seat. I was
wondering if you were going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta rub it in. Somebody dethrone the king, because I'm up here for a while. Let me go ahead and knock out my lock of the week. Jason, you did say that favorites probably will not have as fortunate of a time this week. However, there is one favorite on the board that I really like. That favorite is the Atlanta Falcons. Look, this line opened at 2.5. It has moved to 3. I still like it at 3. Get on it before it moves the extra half point, because you do not want to get the hook. Listen, Seattle is good. Like, they look like a good team. We all get that. However, they have a lot of cluster injuries on their defensive front. They have a lot of cluster injuries in their, that second level in that linebacker set. And guess what? They just played the Niners last week on the West Coast. They then have to fly across the country to play Atlanta for a noon kickoff. And the Superdome's loud, man. The Mercedes, I believe it's still the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, if I'm not crazy.
You're right.
That stadium gets rocking. Atlanta is looking to roll the right direction. And I think that they will continue to roll right on through this Seahawks team with all of its injuries. Teams going from West Coast to East Coast. That's 4 time zones. It is a 43% cover rate.
Nice.
Just saying. Atlanta -3 seems like a value at this point. Go ahead and lock it in. I I did have another play, but Jason and I talked, and I let him have it. So to one of my other ones, Green Bay and Houston. Look, we are looking at an absolutely gorgeous day. Gorgeous day in the state of Wisconsin. It is supposed to be 72 degrees and sunny with no wind. Guess what that means? There's going to be points, fellas. And those points are going to be scored by both teams. I don't know who's going to win. I actually don't care. All I know is that I want them to score as many points as possible because I'm taking over 47.5. And we just saw the Texans put up 40 points just because they had Joe Mixon back. So go ahead, lock that in. That feels really nice. I will say that that line is skyrocketing up. I believe the opening line was 45.5. So it's already up 2 points. Get in before it gets too high. And then last but not least, you guys know I love a teaser. So we'll just tease the two chalkiest picks of the week. And that's the Bills versus the Titans because Will Levis is trash. And the Commanders versus the Panthers because their defense is trash. Look, that's about all of the data you need on these spots. The Bills are playing to attempt to show that they are still the dominant force that everybody expects them to be. And in games where Josh Allen is more than a 7-point favorite, he typically covers. I believe it is 8-3, or it was 8-3 before this year. I haven't recalculated that. And then the Commanders at Panthers, look, no shade against the Panthers. We know they can put up points, but the Commanders look like a good unit, and I'm just going to keep fading the Panthers until they show me that maybe Andy Dalton can win a football game.
What were the numbers that you're teasing at?
Bills from 8.5 to 2.5, Jason, and Commanders to 1.5.
Got you.
Chalky, I know. I'm sorry.
Don't hate it. It's one of those things with the favorites this week. I don't trust it. I think Vegas is going to get right, and that's going to lead me into my pick. These are going to be kind of spicy, and strap yourself in. First one, give me the Bucs at 3.5 to cover versus the Ravens. I love what Baker Mayfield is doing. He is a legit top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. The Ravens' pass defense is very average. Depending on if Mike Evans is going to come back and be healthy, him and Godwin and everything that they do with that 3 running back system right there, I love it. I think the Ravens will go down early and have to rely on Lamar Jackson's arm, and he is going to turn the ball over. I like the ball out of Derrick Henry's hand. Give me the Bucs plus 3.5 home. Next one. Nick Sirianni, when you talk shit to your fans, it doesn't look good because give me the Giants and with Danny Dimes at plus 3. Home game, the Giants have looked a hell of a lot better than they have in weeks past. Neighbors should be back this week, even though that dude was at concerts with a concussion and all that sort of stuff. Like, hey, what are you doing?
all the loud.
I saw that news.
Went to a Travis Scott concert on Tuesday. What are you doing, my guy?
Yeah, exactly. Dexter Lawrence is leading the league in sacks. I feel like they're going to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. I don't care that they have all their starters back on offense. They're going to force turnovers, and this is going to be a closer game than everybody thinks. Give me the Giants plus 3. Last one. I've been going back and forth on this, and Matt, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Jets,
take that.
I'm gonna ride it again. Give me the Jets plus 1 on the road at Pittsburgh. Devontae Adams, I don't care if you don't even know the system. The Jets offense, y'all can agree, did look a hell of a lot better last week than it has in weeks before, especially demoting. Why am I blanking on his name now?
Nathaniel Hackett is who was demoted. And also that line is now 1.5. Jason, do you still want it with the extra half point?
Give me the 1.5. I'll take money line. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
well, I mean, 1.5
pretty much.
But
See, the reason I like this game is because of the news that came out in the media about Russell Wilson actually being healthy and there being a little bit of quarterback controversy because they might put him in there. I don't think they do. It doesn't matter. I like the Jets this week, and that is my lock.
This seems like it's more fitting for the fantasy one, but what if they're just playing head games at this point? And they're just like, hey, Jets, we may start a different quarterback. And then the
wouldn't put it
Jets prepare
past
for
them.
Russell Wilson. And then it's Justin Fields coming out running QB slams through that Jets line. Anyways. Interesting, Jason.
Yeah.
Getting spicy.
Listen, Jason, I actually don't hate the pick. I absolutely love the Giants pick. Philly struggled against Cleveland, and Cleveland is broke. That team is a absolute broken team, which
Fun
leads
fact.
me into my. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, fun fact. Speaking of Cleveland being broken, is they are 464th out of 466 teams since 2007, and offensive DVOA.
And that's going to lead me into my next play here. Like you guys said, taking the favorites this week is a little bit scary, but they're actually there's a couple that I really do like.
Mm-hmm.
There really is a couple that I do like. Listen, the first one's the Bengals -6.5 traveling to Cleveland. Listen, the Cleveland defense no longer scares me. It no longer scares me one bit. Cleveland, if you guys look at the research here, Cleveland has scored a touchdown once in the last 29 drives. One touchdown in the last 29 drives. It's like 29 or 21 drives that they scored a full-blown touchdown here. The Bengals look like they are playing better, right? Their offense has looked better. Their defense is still booty cheeks, but the Cleveland's offense is terrible. Amari Cooper, traded, gone. Deshaun Watson did not look like a starting quarterback in the first half. Second half, he played better, but the first half last week did not look like a good quarterback at all. They still say that they are making Deshaun Watson the starting quarterback. If this was Jameis Winston, trust me, I wouldn't be on the Bengals. But it is Deshaun Watson, not scared. I'm taking the Bengals -6.5. Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, they're going to do their things. Maybe Joe Burrow will break off another 47-yard touchdown run. Okay. You never know. So give me the Bengals -6.5. Next game, guys, like Shane alluded to earlier, this is another favorite of mine. The Washington Commanders. I like 7 better, but it's at 7.5. So the hook kind of scares me a little bit, but Shane already talked about it. The Washington Commanders are on fire. They are on fire, right? And here's the thing. Who'd they play last week? The Baltimore Ravens?
They hung around, too.
They hung around. And Baltimore is a team that a lot of people had going to the Super Bowl this year in the AFC. And the Washington Commanders have been playing great football the last couple weeks. They are 4-2. The team looks legit. Like Shane alluded to earlier, and Jason's alluded to it too. Carolina, you've got to show me something. We know that they can score points, but it's in Washington. I think the Commanders are going to get hyped for this game as well, coming off of a loss. They want to continue that winning streak, go 5-2. That looks fantastic for Washington going into their bye week. So give me the Washington Commanders -7.5. The hook scares me, but I still am going to take that line. The next one, I'm doing this just for funsies, right? And this is my lock of the week. Give me San Francisco -1, basically a pick'em game at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Little revenge game here for San Fran. Listen, the Chiefs have been playing better. They had the last game that they did play coming off the bye. They did look good. They really did look good. But San Francisco is finding a way. They are finding a way to win ball games. We have seen in the past when the Chiefs get flustered, they get flustered, right? Mahomes has what's he got? 6 touchdowns this year in the air and 6 interceptions. It's something like that. San Francisco still has a good defense, y'all. Going to San Fran, they want blood. They want blood. Now, you ain't going to see it on them red jerseys, but they want it, right? So I'm going to take my shot here with San Francisco, basically a pick'em game, but it's set at -1 as my lock of the week to get a little revenge on the Chiefs. in San Fran this week.
Ooh, Matt, I really want to head-to-head you there.
Go do it. That might actually help me out.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, Shane, we lost our head-to-head last week.
I'll lock the head-to-head here. Give me the head-to-head. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs money line.
Yeah, I mean, basically at this point, you are taking money lines. It's -1. So
okay,
Patrick as an underdog is an auto play for me. He is 10-1-1 against the spread as a dog.
It's going to be 10-2 after this week.
10-2-1.
All right, y'all. It's time. Our dog parlay.
Jason, can I take the Giants in this one? Or were you looking at
go ahead. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Giants +3. I really, really, really love that bet.
Giants.
We're doing money line.
Money line. Yeah,
money
sorry.
line.
Yeah, Giants money line. I think they get. Listen, the Giants. While you two are looking, the Giants are like 3 plays away from being a totally different talk here. They have actually looked very relevant. Shane alluded to it last week. They look like a very relevant team.
If they have Malik Neighbors last week, we're probably discussing the Giants in a completely different fashion this week.
Agreed.
And the downfall of the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jason, who's your team?
Yeah, I was looking at that. I mean, I have mostly dogs, so let's get spicy. Give me the Bucks money line.
Shane wanted that one.
That was literally what I was hoping you wouldn't pick.
Shane, take the Raiders. Take the Raiders, Shane.
No, you're not doing the Raiders. I'm not crazy. Let me go ahead and pick.
Cardinals seems juicy.
I don't like the Cardinals against LA. I think the Chargers could run all over that defense. You know what?
Patriots?
Give me the Texans.
Okay.
Texans in Wisconsin. They're gonna bring the cheese to the cheeseheads. Your 3-way parlay is +1,368 odds, Jason. So 1,368 to 1. So a $10 bet to win 136.80. So again, that is Texans, Giants, Buccaneers for your underdog parlay play of the week.
I freaking love that, actually.
I think that's our biggest odds total that we've had out of all of our parlays this year, honestly.
I think that the one that we hit in week 3 was the longest that we had, which was hysterical.
Yeah.
Anyways, for a lighter question here, I'm gonna pop Joe's comment up on the screen. Over under on snaps, cut plays before he's injured again. A laughing crying face emoji. I think Matt set the line. I think Matt set the line at 7. I'm gonna take over at 7. But I'm going to take anything over, like anything if the line is set over than 8, I'm taking it as a dead under.
I love that.
If he plays this week. Now, if he waits a week, I think that he could actually be healthy for a while. But I think if he plays this week, if he's rushing back to play, I'm going to take the over at 7, but the under at 9.
I do like glass.
Oh man,
yeah, fiberglass boat, man. He goes fast.
Yeah, at this point in his career, that's yeah, you're setting the number pretty low, and then you're just rolling with it. Just rolling with it. Yeah, guys, I really do like that parlay. That's like one that I'm not even remotely scared to walk away from. Like that's one that I feel very confident just betting on.
Yep, and like we alluded to, I think Vegas gets right this week.
Yeah, I definitely could agree with that. The favorites are a little scary. It's more of the hooks. It's more of the hooks, man. Like if that Manders was at like -6 or 6.5, I'd be fine at 6 or 6.5. But that's that little hook on 7. It makes me a little, especially after last week with the college plays. The hooks make me a little nervous now.
They want to get their money back.
Trying to get that fishing line going.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to reel it back in. Yeah, well, do you guys have anything else?
No, I don't. I think that's it.
I think what we should do is one of these times we need to set up where we can get more, all the viewers, all you guys that are watching this live right now, hop in there and ask us some betting questions. Maybe we can do that. Try and set something up the next.
Or we can do a viewers parlay.
Ooh,
a live viewers parlay. You put your pick in the chat, and we'll put it into a parlay.
Oh, dang. I like that. Yeah. We need to set something like that. That's what we're going to try and do these next couple weeks. We'll try and set something up and have something like that. Just so that way it gets more people involved because, man, I'm telling y'all now, a disclaimer here, betting is very addictive. It's very, very addictive, especially sports betting. So make sure that you're doing it responsibly. Make sure you're setting yourself at a limit and you do not go over that limit of what you are going to use to bet, right? Anything that you make in the profit, just be smart about it. Put some away. Put it away. Don't just leave it all in there because there are going to be weeks like I experienced last week in college where you're down a little bit of money and you're going to want to just keep betting to recoup that money that you lost. So make sure that you are smart about it. You know when to stop and you just set that limit, right? I mean, would you guys agree with that? Do you have any more advice?
Bet responsibly. I mean, say it till you're blue in the face, bet responsibly.
Yep. You said it perfectly.
All right. We love it, boys. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up today's episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, Parlay Fade edition. Remember, guys, head on over to fantasy6pack.net. Get your all-access membership. Use promo code Parlay FF to receive 15% off. You will not only see our free bets there that we give you guys on the show and on the audio side, you will have all the bets that we put in for the week because it's not just 3, right? We actually get in there and we do a lot of stuff in there. So head on over there, do that. Remember to give this YouTube channel a subscribe, give it that thumbs up button. We want to keep helping you guys out. So the more you guys do that and you share it, the more we can help you out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, look up the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Give it a subscribe, a follow, leave a 5-star review. It does help the show. So with that being said, y'all know what to do.
It is revenge week for Saquon Barkley. Make sure to go hit the overs.
Quads ain't going to do well this week. Go Texans.
All right. All right, y'all. We love you to the moon and back. And until next episode, peace out.